All right. Shalom, 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 everybody. This is Ivan, the Trinity of Water, with another purpose-based Tell Your Vision show. So I'm kind of sweating a little bit, y'all. I just got finished. I'm trying to sneak it. It's my son's birthday, and we've been kind of doing things off and on all day. So I'm trying to sneak in a little workout and get me a little, a little message in. So I had to, kind of sneak away for a little bit. But you know what? I'm explaining really quickly why a lot of my shows can be different. I mean, the way I deliver the message, what the message is about, it's just, I tell you, I try to be like the source, like the father, like the mother, be like God, what you call God, because you don't know. You know what I mean? Like opportunity. You don't know what it looks like, smells like, tastes like, and so you don't know. And that's my message. An elevator. Remember, I did a message on that. An elevator goes up and it goes down. What does it do? It goes to the floor that's needed. I go where source tells me. You know what I mean? I don't know exactly where that's going to be, but I do notice that helps me tap in a little more. Now, next, why am I playing the little things by Element? Now I know it's an old song, but I've never heard it until maybe like 6 months ago. Listen to that song. Listen to the words, not the beat and everything. I love the song, but it's the little things. So she dates Jason Tatum. He's a basketball player for for people who may not know. So he's a multi-millionaire, has many endorsement deals and and all this other stuff. So let's say on a surface level, the meaning that I'm getting, what do you get the man that has everything? You can get the biggest gift of all. I'm telling you, women, ask your man. And man, you already know. The little things. The little things. It's not, just think about it. And I'm about to correlate this to God, the source. You know how I do. But it's like, think about this. People who genuinely care about you, just like the song says, how you doing? How's your day going? I'm down in the cook. She's down to do the little things, the little intricate details that most people look past. Like, we gonna argue all the time. I'm gonna not ask how you doing, not really, acknowledge anything. And maybe on your birthday, I'll do something super big. And then we go right back to how it was. Nah, this kind of how it is. Oh, that's my son too, but that's it right there. But listen, so you don't have to have all the lights and whistles. I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. I mean, that's you, that's great. But what I'm saying is that's how I deliver my message. The little things. 34, 35 people might be, little to some. To me, if I said 12 can start a revolution like the 12 disciples, and you say allegories or whatever, there's times in history where it was only small groups of people and they did some mighty things. Some mighty things. So I'm going to little simple, little show, but I get some really big revelations. And for people who can catch it, And this verse it's a few of them actually, in Romans by my man Paul, that I'm going to read, that is so funny. It correlates so beautifully with the message I was already going to give. So here we go. Well, you got to do that. That's how you know. Boy. You tell your age when you got when you getting up, moving, and you got to. Okay, let me stop being silly. So bear with me. So we're going to go to Romans 1:21. This is the Catholic Bible. All right. So, for although they knew God, they did not accord him glory as God or give him thanks. They didn't accord his glory, didn't give him glory or give him thanks. Instead, they became vain in their reasoning, and their senseless minds were darkened. Senseless. They don't have their sixth sense. Their senseless minds were darkened. Fools. and exchanged the glory of the immortal God for the likeness of an image. Image is everything here, right? Of an image of mortal man, an image of mortal man, or of birds, or four-legged animals, or of snakes. Okay, now that's a very, very, very deep, deep message, right? So I did a video about that exact message, that exact verse, and I gave more of an esoteric. That's like an inner meaning, right? Because sometimes I'm feeling so spiritual, you can kind of forget about the natural. You only thinking about like the supernatural. And trust me, it was still relevant, and I'm gonna tell you why. But I got the revelation of what it means naturally as well. So first, I'm gonna give you a little synopsis of the video of where I explained that verse and an inner meaning. So in the inner meaning, it was saying the image that you were like I said, like Sprite. The Sprite says image is everything here. Here, lights, whistles, what the image of what you think, like the stars and all that people look up and worship, they do. I mean, let's just be real. They do. Whenever you get doing your hand like this just to touch somebody, that's worship. What did they do with Christ? See, we're living this, but some just don't have eye to see it. How do I know? That's how I emotionalize with people because I've been there. Not trying to. I've never been like star crazy, but no, I meant as far as just being in a place where I'm focused on everything else but God. I'm just being real, a source. So okay, back to what I was saying. So it was an inner meaning. Like I said, mortal man, the image rather, like stars. So you worship stars, idols, American Idol. You get it? Looking at it like Kobe, I like Kobe. I don't know him, but I mean I like his game. But they were just worshiping his statue. They're just looking in worship. Statue. All this stuff was already written, whether you're rocking with the Bible or not. If you are or not. I mean, like I say, I'm not against anything. I'm just for what I'm for. So the image of man or birds, and some versions say a fish. So for one another, this that's why I say this message was a little deep. In other spiritual literatures, let's say, they speak of the fish god, the Dogon, the correct me if I'm wrong, you guys. I mean the description. I haven't really studied that in a while. But yeah, they had the fish god. They had god bird gods. They had a lot of different types. In Egypt. So um, what that's saying is they're little G's like us, little gods, not the big G. I am the great I am. I should say, I just am. You just I am. That's the great I am. That's the big G, the limitless one. So the limitless source of all existence, every eon. But anyway, I'm getting too deep. So yeah, it was that because let me tell you, these the meaning of things, you get a different revelation for one, depending on where you are in life, how where your mindset is, your knowledge. And like I say, sometimes you can tap into that sixth sense. It's just depending on where you are, and that verse can mean something different for you. So don't think if you got something else that is wrong. No, 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 no. We're individuals. We're individuals. So any scholars or they talk about the wise man, listen, they can come up with their revelations, but you are little G's just like them. You matter. So yeah, that's what I came up with. And also, excuse me. So it's saying it's worshiping other gods, basically. It's worshiping, in the three, you have three sections of your brain. So you have the reptilian, you look it up, do your own due diligence. The reptilian part of the brain, the mammalian part of the brain, four-legged animals, reptilian, the snake on the ground, and images of man, like Neo in the movie The Matrix. Sorry, I'm moving my head so much, but like Neo in the movie The Matrix, the one, Neo, the thinking mind, your neocortex, the thinking mind of man. But that is not tapped in. That's a great place to be, but that's not tapped in. So that had a layers. The meanings have layers. So inwardly, that is the revelation that I get. Now, earlier, I get a lot of revelations while I'm walking. You can walk, but if your mind is still on spirituality, your mind is still still. Be still and know that it's God, because that's what I'm focused on, right? At that point, right? So, what source revealed? Oh, let me. As a matter of fact, and let me read this really quickly before I even give my revelation on that verse. Um, Matter of fact, yeah, I'm stay here. My apologies, my apologies. Let's stay here. Slight, forgive me. So, yeah, we're gonna stay there. So, the revelation that I got from that verse was faith, and I'm gonna read another verse that's gonna back this up. It was faith. Where your faith is your faith in a man, your job. It talks about that too. And think about it. We've all been there. So a lot of times when people do Bible studies or readings or go to church, they feel condemned when the person that's reading it may do more or just as much as they're doing. So anything I ever read is not for condemnation. If that's even a word, if it's not, I just made it one. So yeah, don't ever feel condemned, because we all do it. We all do it. And for one, and for two, the Father, the Great Mother, Yeshua, however, Buddha, whatever it is that's you, source, just because it's stating actions, that's still his story. That's ancestry. Things that we're sent here to, overcome, although we still go through it. Just like the Bible says. We still go through it. Same battles. So just how they fail, sometimes we fall. But at least if you're watching this, it's like you're not going to be watching it if you didn't kind of want something more. You know what I mean? If you weren't tapped in, this wouldn't even have caught your eye. So yeah, never feel condemned. Always just know who you are, and you can always go back. So anyway, I don't want to drift away, but that needed to be said. So yeah, it's just basically saying like a job. We all did it. We all do it. I do it. Well, I'm not doing it currently, but I might do it again. I'm just saying it's a possibility. Do I think I am? No. But no. Do I plan on it? No. But I don't dare judge anybody who does it. I have been there several times. So and what I mean by faith in man, you depend on your paycheck. You have faith that it's going to come, just like clockwork. Now, what if you can have that same faith in God? I'm just saying this because you see it. It's like, look, I didn't sign my papers. I didn't did this. This is a legit company. I have faith. My check gonna be on time. God saying, if you could put that same faith there, that's why it's faith. The things you can't see it. You see what I mean? You can't see it. So if you can put that same faith in God, that's what God is saying. Now, of four-legged animals and of snakes. I'm sorry, of four-legged animals and snakes, and of birds in the air. When people, I'm gonna use the word God. This is a great example. When people are in search for God, they're looking up. What is up? When you look up, what do you see? Birds in the air. You're looking up, but you're missing what could be that was within, right in front of your face. You're looking on the ground. Like I said, as far as man, you're looking on the ground. You're thinking with your reptilian part of the brain, like four-legged animals. That's how animals think. We shouldn't think that way. They're fixed. They're fixed to do what they do. You see what I'm saying? That's why we have a higher calling. That's why we have dominion over them. So we don't want to do what four-legged animals do and have the faith that four-legged animals have. And then snakes slithering on the ground. So do you feel, okay, well, snakes represents wiseness too. Now, like I said, that's a double-edged sword. That's Nothing bad, but as far as here, saying, are you looking as wise? Be as wise as serpents. Is your wisdom your God? That's what that's saying. Have you made your philosophy, the philosopher's stone, your theology, even the Bible, any type of literature? Have you made that? And I'm just saying, be real with it. A lot of religious people do it. Just be real. They do. See, that's the prophetic. I can never pronounce that word, but you know what I'm trying to say. That's not the word that was at the beginning. It couldn't have been. You see what I'm saying? So prophetic word. You know what I'm saying. So simply put, I had to start talking even more proper because I just had that blunder. So simply put, it's saying, yeah, don't depend on your own wisdom. The wise don't depend on that. Don't have faith in that. It's not saying don't have it, but just don't reject, like the builders rejected the cornerstone. Just like what's on the dollar. You see the cornerstone is not on there. That's the eye. Turn a dollar bill around and take a look at it. I'm not going to go to collapse corpse, but the eye. And you see it's not on the pyramid. So think of that as you without a head, a cornerstone. You don't have the mind of Christ or the mind of God. Your cornerstone they rejected it. It's still powerful. That bloodline is very powerful. The master builders, boy. But I don't want to get, like I said, I don't want to get deep. But yeah, they rejected the cornerstone. So don't look to your own wisdom. Now, that's the surface message that I actually missed sometimes. See, because another guy, this is how a source talks to me. Source was saying, yes, you got it right when you gave the message as far as the inner or esoteric meaning. But because you were so, your mind was so spiritual and you were thinking so, let's just say deep, which is a great thing, but you missed other meanings. See, we're emotional body, physical body, our aura, all mental brain, all mental body rather. We're in a lot of places at one time. And the more you tap in, the more you're there. So you don't, because you don't want, like this, this your story, my story. It's the greatest story ever told. So you don't want to miss it. You want to be tapped in. So Source was saying, yeah, just never get too high. Just like life, never get too high, never get too low. Well, how do you look? Equal, balance, wholeness, holy. Okay. Now let's read another verse that's a little important. Okay. So this is Romans 1 by my boy Paul in 16. God's power for salvation. For I am not ashamed of the gospel. If you choose this for whatever reason, if you choose the gospel, the good spell, if you choose it for whatever reason you have, don't be like Adam and Eve. Unless source say you're naked, when God said that, who told you were naked? So don't take anybody else's word for it. If you choose this, do not be ashamed of it. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone. You don't have to explain, well, at the Council of Nicaea in 1611, I say this a lot. You don't owe anybody any explanations for your relationship with your God. Shout it to the rooftops. But don't push it on nobody now. That's what you don't do. Don't push it on nobody. If somebody asks, okay, you might want to do videos like, video. Hey, listen, most people don't even watch my videos, but I do them anyway. The little things. Like I said, that's what Source tells me. Hey, Ivan, you down to do the little things for me? Huh? That's how we talk. Like we're like, you down to do the little things. Like I said, that shows people you care. God, like, or do I have to give you millions and all that? Because you do the little things with all your heart for long enough, those things will be added on to you. So, hey, if people not rocking with you, it's all good, man. You doing the little things. You showing me your love. They not, so you gonna see me. You gonna get more stuff gonna be revealed to you because you don't need all the bells and whistles to talk. I'm telling you, this like that source talk. It's like it makes me think of mobsters actually. It's good and everything now. You take the good, throw away the bad. But how they say word is bond. That's how it used to be back in the day. Somebody gave a word, unless something happened, they're keeping that word. Just like the word, it was bond. That all got lost, but I don't want to drift. So yeah, don't be ashamed, y'all. For I am not ashamed of the gospel. It is the power of God for the salvation of everyone who believes. For the Jew first, the indigenous Jews, or you could even say maybe Hebrews, or you know what I mean, Egypt, Egypt, however, the first like written actual language or pictures, and but anyway, so for the Jew first, and then the Greek. Think of like how language goes. You got English, and then they went back to Greek, but they got their stuff from who? Think of like the Hebrews before that. The Hebrews. So you're okay. So keep rocking with me. So I'm gonna finish before I get my revelation of this. And I don't want to throw y'all off. I'm gonna start over and just read it all over again. It's only gonna take a second. For I am not ashamed of the gospel. It is the power of God for the salvation for everyone who believes, for the Jew first, and then the Greek. For in it is revealed the righteousness of God from faith to faith, as it is written, the one who is righteous, right standing, by faith, by faith, by faith, will live. Okay. So this is about things getting revealed, right? Not being ashamed. People might say this, people might say that, or you know what I mean? I remember when it said in the Bible, I think it was Peter. Peter was down. He was gonna cut people's ear off and all that stuff. He like, don't mess with Jesus now. And Jesus like, man, you gonna deny me 3 times before the rooster crows. I'll never do that. So if you have an eye to see, you will realize you live in this thing. I did it twice, studying, going all the way back to the Green Emerald tablets and looking at the Egyptian writings and just a lot of wisdom. I was depending on wisdom, but not the wise dome. Dang, that just got revealed to me. I'm gonna have to study that. So this could be the wise dome, like the king's dome, the mind of God, the mind of Source, the mind of Christ. That's the wise dome, your dome. The wise dome, not man's wisdom. All right, so that's their saying, yeah. So first, this is big, the melanated indigenous Jews who were cursed. Why? I'll do a show on that. Why? Because, they forgot their God. There's a lot of verses that say how they didn't honor their God, so their minds were given away. I'm going to read some of that. But actually, no, I did read a verse that was talking about that. So yeah, we just stay there. We'll just stay there. That's enough. I'm gonna read one more verse that's really relevant. But before I forget off this, it's just saying being tapped in. Wherever you're at. Like, you think I don't do stuff? Or a matter of fact, so you can really capture this. You think I don't do shit? It's not about being righteousness. Is not being a goody good. Like, and that's what most people, they don't say they think that, but most people do. How do I know? Because that's what I used to think. Most people kind of think the same before they really start getting revelation. It's not about that. Come as you are. That's not in the word of the Bible, the basic instructions before leaving earth. That's here. Wherever you are in life, you're welcome to come to God. But do not be ashamed, because more than likely it's man. That when you talk about the devil, no, nigga, it's you. When you try to do stuff, I'm telling you, it's gonna be your family, it's gonna be your friends. They go, but this nigga, who do you think he is? Sinning nigga. So think he about to read some Bible. So don't even tell nobody. Keep it sacred. Keep it simple. You don't need all the bells and whistles. Come as you are. Now, let's go to, I think I got to grab the New Living Translation. Okay. And if you never watched one of my shows, as I read these, whether you rock with the Bible or not, all, like I say, I try to be like my source. All are welcomed. I do not judge. And when I read these, the very first, I don't condemn myself, and I suggest you don't either, but the very first thing I say, every to almost all my messages are for me first. They're for me first. Now, some, like what I'm about to read, does not apply. But for who it does apply to, yeah, it's a sin. So what? So, like I said, as I'm reading this, you know how we do religion and politics, the fight or flight hits your frontal lobe, and all of a sudden you can't hear what I'm really saying, and you're angry. No, we don't do that here. Okay? So let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it. Okay. So this is Romans 24. Therefore, I read that already, but I want to read it in the New Living Translation, and I'm going to go all the way to verse. Blah, blah, blah. Matter of fact, let's take that back. Let's go Romans 26. That's what we're going to do. Because of this, we're going to leave off right where we left off. Because of this, meaning their minds were given over, God gave them over to shameful lust. And raise my hand on that. Even their women, now listen to this, even their women exchanged nature, your nature. Probably why I can't find a woman. No, I'm just, okay. Anyway, okay. Even their women exchanged natural relations for unnatural ones. In the same way, the man also abandoned natural lust for one another. Now, I've heard that before. Oh, that's some confirmation. I heard that before. I've heard preachers preaching it. So, because I think it was like a person, I think they were homosexual or whatever, and they wanted to preach. And they were saying, no, it's not, they were using that verse, and they kind of use verses to condemn. And they say this is a good spell. We words, spelling. I don't let people put spells on me. Another message for another time. So I want to say this. This is so, I tell you, the word was then, now, and forever. Even though this is a prophetic word, I keep messing that up, but you know what I'm saying. If you can see it, it relates. It all relates. That's huge now. Very huge. But I was joking when I said, as far as finding a good woman, a good wife. I will never ever say again, I'm looking for a woman. A woman, I was talking to this about somebody earlier. The little things, element. I don't know if she actually does that, but that song was a revelation. For women who do that, those are wives. More than money, more than rubies, more than gold. I get that now. I get it. They call it the virtuous woman. And if you find a virtuous woman, that's a wife. You found a good thing. Anything else is uncivilized. Seriously, it is. Because you're a woman, because you're a girl, does not mean you are a wife. Just because you're married does not mean you are truly a wife. Just because you're a man and just because you're a boy does not mean you're a husband. Just because you're married does not mean you're a husband. Remember, you become these things. You become for what you want. Thank you, revelation. Thank you. Confirmation, rather. Oh, and revelation. There we go. Because that did just get sent to me. You got to become it first. You got to become it first. And then you will attract it. You have to get, I call it the marriage from within. You cleave within. You become whole. Not two halves making a whole, two wholes. These things are added on to you. You just seek the kingdom within, right? And just like I was telling you with the last verse, everybody looking everywhere but within. That's good. That's big for me right now. God said, just trust me. I'm gonna get before I end this. I'm gonna give you what happened to me today. But yeah, God said, just trust me. Don't look for man to give you something. Don't look at other people's lives. Don't look up. Don't look down. Just look within. Look to me. Confirmation. For real, it's confirmation. And it's huge. That's why I say my messages are for me. Now back to the verse that I read. Yeah. My only statement on this is this. I don't judge. I'm gonna do way too much sinning to judge. I don't care how much I get my life together. Now everybody have a little program into judgment. Don't lie. Now I'm being truthful. If I go to a gas station and let's say, hey, I'm from Detroit. Let's say I'm on 7 Mile and there's 6, melanated individuals out there with hoods on. Hey, I am gonna think like, okay, either even if I'm strapped up, I don't know. I get my gas later. They could be delivering the word. I'm just saying. But my thought goes there. It's too much. I've seen too much. You see what I'm saying? So it's almost impossible to say you don't judge at all. We all do. Come on now, we all do. And and I understand it's discernment, but no, we all judge. So, but what I mean is, I should say condemning. That's a better statement. I don't condemn them. My only thing with any type of homosexual or anything else is this: do you just know? Yes, it's a sin. Okay, it's unnatural. State it, own it. So what, nigga? Tell them, state it, own it. So what? Yep. What you do. But no, it's not sinful. It's who I am. It's who I was born with. Yeah, you might have been born, and trust me, I understand what you're saying, but it's still unnatural. Hey, people's darkness is here before they get here. I'll do another show about that. It's stuff that we battling with that was here before we even came. I knew you before. I did a show on that before you was in your mother's womb. So yeah, we born into sin. Own it. Own it. We're fearfully and wonderfully made. Yep, I am, whatever. So what? And like I said, that's the only thing I'm saying on that. Just own it. Don't throw it on nobody. Just like I said about the word. Yeah, you could be proud. You know what I'm saying? But like people who want to hear the word, yeah, hey, let's hear this word. Let's give it. Don't push it on nobody. Homosexual, same thing. Just don't push it on nobody. Do you? You're free. Screw what somebody think. Own it. That's all I'm saying. Own it. Now, this was already prophesied. This story was already told. You see what I'm saying? You just have to remember and you get to see. Remember. We remembers of something. Before. Renewing your mind. So that means your mind was once new. All these things are telling us we definitely had a prior existence. It says it. We had a prior existence with God. It says it. And when you really start tapping in, you like, no, that's real. I know. I'm going to end with this. The story I said I was going to tell you, but before that, I want to end with this. The little things. That's how I tap in, y'all. That's how I tap in. It's like now I am in a place where if I wanted to have all the bells and whistles and you see the microphones and all, I'm not saying anything's wrong with that, but I'm saying I'm down to do the little things because when the fuck hits the fan, if I don't have technology, okay, shit. I'm not like a trauma. You know what a trauma bond is? You don't notice it, but when you focus is one. They know what focus is. I told you that's magic. Hocus pocus. Put it together. PHOCUS. Like find a. That's focus. You ain't got to believe me, but hocus pocus. Put it together. That's focus. That's real magic. What you're focused on. And if you focus on something long enough, you start bonding with it, just like a person. You're focused on them for so many years. You even if that's why you keep going or was going to the same mate, and it's not going to work. It haven't worked. Y'all don't even like each other, but you keep going back. A trauma bond. You can't see it, but you're bonded. You tied in together. So when you focus on technology, whatever, just like the verses were saying, anything out here and all that, you can enjoy it. Enjoy it. Why not? You got a mate? Hey, make them happy. Spend time with them, but don't revere them. Don't worship them. Not your job, not your mate, not money, not things. No, don't worship it. Not knowledge, not man's wisdom, not the image of something else, not little G's. Don't worship it. You can read it. You can get nuggets from it. You can thank it. You can respect it. But honor. You honor God, big G. With what? Your focus. Now, I used to think, man, it's a lot of stuff that I kind of want to do, but I can't put two things together. Like I can't just spend all my time in the Bible and and maybe other spiritual literatures. But I'm like, look, I'm gonna try, and I did. I tried, failed, and failed because I was trying to use willpower instead of real power. So it's like, do you, buddy? Just don't forget about me. Honor me. You can have fun, whatever. God, Source said you got 90%. This is not a school. Source said you have 90% where you can fail, but I want your 10% of the time. And I promise you, you're going to pass. Source told me that. That may not apply to everybody, but I truly believe it does. Now, 10% is 2 hours and 40 minutes. That's going to do what? What do I say? Source doesn't go 1, 2, 3, 4. It's multitudes. It's superpositioning. It's quantum leaping. It's multiplication, multiplied, abundant. Source don't do no, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. But you don't know how that's going to come. That can be abundance of knowledge. It could be abundance like what I get, abundance of Source's presence. But what if that doesn't bring me a million, I don't like to use the word followers, a million subscribers? What if that doesn't bring me the money I need to survive? Meaning just doing this. What if that doesn't bring me the same maybe fame or, get the same looks? Oh man, you did that message, homie. You did that. Oh man, good job. Just be honest. Yeah, feel good to be acknowledged. That's some of the needs we have. One of the needs we want to be acknowledged. It feels good to be wanted. It feels good to be acknowledged. Let's not lie about it. But it shouldn't be necessary. Saying, if I get none of that to the day I die, so you live it and owning this. If I get, meaning, if they bet God, if you don't do nothing else for me, you done did enough. Can you own that? Can you own it? But Source all around you. If a tree fell in the forest and nobody was around to hear it, did the tree fall? I'm asking you. I told you, are you going to choose the presents, presents, gifts, things, or Source's presence? Now, with that being said, 10%. You can do more. When I'm really in the spirit, sometimes I want to do way more. That's sometimes not even a good thing because you get too wrapped up, like I say, too high. Not too high, not too low. This is about balance. Balance, the scales. That is balance, is wholeness, it's stillness. Be still and know I am God. It's masculine and feminine. That is natural. That is natural. So I thought I was about to end this. If you're like a homosexual or anything like that, listen, Source just sent me this. If masculine and feminine is not like a man and a woman here, we give sex. You know what I mean? But up there, it's energy. It's energy, right? So you still can definitely, well, you probably already know, you can tap in, but I just got sent this. The same way we have to combine our masculine and our feminine, certain times you might be required to say, if you're a guy, I guess being a woman or whatever, I don't know much about this, but I'm just saying, you might be called to be very masculine, even if you're a very feminine acting person, and vice versa. That's what was just sent to me, because this is energy, it's spiritual. Don't let anybody stop you from delivering your gift. If you choose that nature, you know what I mean. Like I say, this is a show. I don't care what you do. You could, hey, you didn't kill somebody, brother, sister. Hey, I, I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I should say I'm not against anything. Or I know things gonna happen, but yeah, I'm not with it. But hey, to a degree, I told you we all judge a little bit. So on a physical level, I'm like, that's messed up because if you know what a life is, we are some of the most. If people really knew what life was, the little G's, the beauty of who we are, no way in the world they'll take it. It's no way. But just like I was reading, most of us don't, and I should say that most of us are not tapped in like that on a frequent enough basis. Most to almost all. So if you haven't, let's say picked up a book, Bible, you haven't tapped, meditated or whatever, and for a while, do not condemn yourself. Like I said, even if you killed somebody on a physical me, I'm like, that's screwed up, man. That's screwed up. Their family, the thing. Yeah, I'm gonna judge a little bit. But on a spiritual level, tap in. That see, sometimes, see, that's when they say the love of God. We can't have the wholeness of the great I am. And what I said was a great example. But the great I am can. So that's why you don't look outwardly. Oh, thank you. That tied in perfectly. That's why I said that. So but you look inwardly because that's the only place you're going to be able to go. Okay? Because this is a serious show. I told you, it might not be no bells and no whistles, but we're revolutionaries. You know that I reveal things and I give solutions. And I also do the same thing in my life. I try to live it. But I'm honest. Hey, heck yeah, I might send it in the next 10 minutes. We born into it. So don't try to fight against it. You're gonna do more. Just do focus on what you want, not what you're trying to change. When you focus on what you're trying to change, then you giving your focus is power. Your hocus pocus. You putting your magic, you putting your energy, your chi on what you don't want. So but your energy feeds things. You're feeding that. You're feeding it. That's why people do things. I don't even worry about it. I don't think about it. I really don't. People might bring it up. X did, I don't know how much to me. In about a couple weeks. I don't even think about it. Now the bad thing was I kept going back then. Because they said forgive, don't forget. However, now, nope. No going back. But no, and I'm not thinking about it. I'm looking towards the future. I'm looking towards finding a good thing. And God is what? God is good all the time. Oh, now I got to end with this. A man who findeth a wife findeth a good thing. Never says a woman who findeth a man findeth a good thing. I know you think you know where I'm going with this, but you don't. That means we seek a kingdom and we find. So it doesn't say a man who seeks. You notice when you get in relationships, it just happens. Like Babyface Son, love makes things happen. You don't know when, where, like opportunity. You don't know. But when you find it, you will know it. Hopefully, if you tapped in, you will know it. Don't mess it up. It's worth more, literally, bro. Literally. Hey, money come and go. People come and go. But if you find a wife, you find a good thing. The only other thing that's compared to good is God. You found your God or part of your God because you're cleaving in. You don't even have to take an oath. Actually, they say oaths are either of the evil one. That's why I said give your word. That's being free. Some people get married just so that their mate, no people want to talk to them. I'm telling you, this is be real. But it's freedom. Like I choose you. You know the power and the feeling you get when somebody just choose you. Meaning you may not have, all the money and everything, but a lot of times they just use people for their money. But somebody for the little things, unconditional love, you unconditionally love them. You choose them. You can have a lot of other options, but you choose them. That's a great feeling. A great feeling. There go God. That's freedom. They're free to do whatever they want to do. You don't have to worry about them cheating. You don't have to worry about them leaving because you got into an argument. You're not bonded in a trauma bond. It's an unconditional love bond. And what do they say? If they leave, I think it was a Heather Haley song or something. If it's meant, they'll come back. If it's meant, they'll come back to you. But they're free to do whatever it is they want to do. But when they choose you, not for money, not for fame, not because of status like a lot of people do, let's just be real, especially women, but they choose you because they want you. That is the outward, or I should say, third dimensional expression of God. And when you choose God, it's just that expression on a higher level. But same rules apply. I did a show about that. I might do it again. But yeah, a good thing. Now back to that, because I want you to see the power in that. Because I need people to understand when so many people get mad when people say, yeah, well, honor your husbands. Like, Christ honored the church. Submit to them. I ain't submitting to nobody. This is where it's imperative to have someone who could truly translate these words, who can translate the Bible. I said the Bible is not meant to be understood. It's meant to be translated by the indigenous Jews that chose. When you choose, like I said, choose it. I choose you, source. So I chose you before you was in your mother's womb. All you had to do is remember it. Come on back. Just remember who you are. When you remember who you are, it happens automatically. Now you're gonna still sin and all that stuff, and you gotta learn a lot of lessons. I'm just saying, you choose, you're chosen. That's it. So when you are chosen, you have a certain responsibility, and you have a purpose, and it's an order. Melchizedek, it's an order. Your life is in order and focus, discipline, and that's how you live. And if your mate, like you said, you found a good thing, just how Source gets you in order for your purpose, that's what you do for your wife, because you're the leader, but she's the good thing. Like I said, it didn't say a wife that found of a man find of a good thing. So women, back in the day, they used to just it was so serious with a girl from think like very young age, 10 or something, maybe younger. They knew the importance of what it means to be a wife. So we really need to get back to that. Now, with that also being said, this is the double-edged sword. Also know you the most powerful one. We're worth more than rubies, gold. That's why it's done like that. I do so many shows saying if you could see things like I see them, not oh no, see them how you see them, but I'm saying realize some things with your real eye, how all things work together. A whole new world. All things work together for the good of those who love God. You'll start seeing things in a whole another way. You'll start seeing recycling. Everything is not a such thing as garbage. Garbage can go right into a tree and become beautiful and give us oxygen. Everything has a purpose and everything works together, depends on one another. Just like the unconscious mind, the subconscious, and they all depend on each other. If you study biology, you would notice all the parts of the body depend on one another. When one messes up, other ones have to work harder. Can't make that same music. That's why health is important, very important. But anyway, I want to stick on this. All things are put for you to be, and you can say whatever about humble, but for the sake of the message, to be humble. Okay, the wife is the powerful thing. The wife is the powerful thing. So let's go to money. A lot of people, go for money. Let's say the wife got $100 million. The husband has enough to take care of them. He's like, I don't even want to need any of your money. I just chose you. If you lost all that, I still choose you. But the wife allows that man, he may make 100,000, 50,000, 20,000, whatever. But he's cleaved, he's tapped in. You see, he has a vision. He's going, see, this is the thing, guys, a vision, right? That's written out and made plain, and you're living it. Women respect that. It may take time, but eventually, like I say, momentum. More action, the more momentum, E equals MC squared. That more momentum, moments in time. And soon, if you get enough of it, it will be your time. So the focus, when you focus on what you want long enough, you will manifest it. If it's in your, say your perfect plan. Meaning, I don't care if you want to be a basketball player, you can try all you want. If that's really not your genetic feed, you see what I'm saying? So certain rules apply. You have to be a little logical, but that's another show. My biggest point is a woman with basically most of the power allows. That is one of the biggest signs or things and expressions of unconditional love. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I was actually just given that. That's huge. That's huge. That's huge. So Source says, just like Source has, what do you get the person that has everything? Source has everything. Like at the LMA Sun, this got Jason Tatum, multi-millionaire. The little things. That's what's important. Yeah. Source said, I got all the power. But if I choose sometimes not to share it with you for you to learn lessons, or for you to think I may have left you so you can learn, and I choose not to share that power or share certain secrets, or are you still going to choose me? Are you choosing me for likes? Are you choosing me so people can say, oh man, you did one hell of a message? Are you choosing me because you've been looked over and passed over your whole life and you like, finally it's my time because I tapped in? Or are you choosing me because you just love me and you love yourself? So it becomes real. If I don't give you nothing else, you already know me. God said they knew at the beginning, they knew God, like to say the Egyptians. But God said they didn't honor me. So I gave them over. You honor God by a 10% tithe of your time. I cannot say that enough. Like I said, the Bible is meant to be translated, not understood. When the disciples asked Christ, said, why do you tell us plainly, but to the multitude you use parables? Confirmation. You hear that, Bird? Oh, okay. And Christ said, because for the kingdom of God is given to you. Because you chose to be simple and plain. You didn't need all that to get it. If it had to be out there and it was given to you, okay. But if it isn't, okay, I'm going to do it anyway. So it's given to you. But to the multitude, So let me give you, oh man, I got to end with another one. Let me get, because I like to go to the extreme so you can truly just tap into what I'm saying. So let's say you're sick, you have cancer, you have AIDS, you have whatever, you're sick and you going, oh, I need to be healed, I need to be healed. Even if I choose not to heal you, would you choose me? What if I say no? Nope. Might be something where you have to go through that for others to learn. We're servants. But I'm saying, what if Source said no? Will you still choose Source to do what you know you're supposed to do to the best of your ability? But will you still do the little things? What do you give the man that has everything, that's limitless? What gift can you give that? Your gift. That's the only gift that makes room for you. That's why it makes room for you. When it says you were given a gift, when you unwrap that gift and you use that gift, just like energy, you're getting breathing, you're sowing and reaping, you're giving the gift back. I did a huge show on that. When you use the gift that God gave to you, you're giving it back. Think of, like, that when they say a person who gives back, they're rich and they give back to, let's say, children, things like that. When you use your gift, you're giving back. You're serving. That's a gift. That no matter how much you might sin, the hardest thing to do is to say, oh, well, and tap in, not saying beating yourself up. And once you tap in, like I said earlier, you focus on what you want and what you know to do. You focus on that, eventually the other stuff just gonna fall away. Because God has a plan that you don't know yet. So certain sins and certain places and things are necessary on this journey, on this movie. And what's exciting is you don't know what Source is going to give you. That's the excitement. So yeah, it's simple and plain here, but it's exciting. It's supposed to be. See, look, I talked about my show used to be preparation for a purpose, and yesterday it was. I got a revelation that, see, the preparation are the details. Just like I said in the creation, the 6 days where he was speaking and all, and imagining, that was actually illusions. That was illusions. You don't have to agree with me. It was real. See, it can be a truth, but not the truth. The Alpha and Omega, when we saw the seventh day of creation, that's what's real. So Source said, whatever you have to do to prepare, that's all your lessons, trials, and tribulations. Once you finish and get to where you're supposed to get to, do you really, does it exist anymore? Does it? You tell me. It's the beginning. Think about it. A person, do you know how much a person can change in a month? In a month, I can lose probably 40, 50 pounds. I've done it several times. Look like a whole nother person. Can be a couple steps away from making great money. I could be a completely different individual. I could talk different. I could act different. I'm just saying, a lot can happen in a month, and everything else was just details. Where you at now, you're now. You start, that's the beginning. You see what you want to do and where you want to finish. You focus on that. Don't worry about the details. Source said that's just details. Details. And when you get there, you are with the Alpha, you were with the Omega. Source never said I'm the details, because details change. Anything that can change is an illusion. Anything that can change is an illusion. It's not real. It's real. It's a truth. I don't want to get too deep, but it's saying all those trials, don't even worry about it. People talking about you, don't even worry about it. That's just the devil. No, you the devil. You the devil. You think about it. People are the ones who make it hard to use your gift, because they judge. But use it as fuel, like I do. You know what? Source knows me before I was in my mother's womb. Uh, It, yes, it feels good to be acknowledged. But when people tell me you can't do something, it fuels the I can explain how much it fuels me. I did a bodybuilding competition. I started at like 300 pounds. In 6 months, I was doing a bodybuilding competition because somebody told me I couldn't. I came in third. I showed a trophy and everything. Those are just the details. Now I've been talking an hour. Why do people do that? Because downloads come as you're tapped in, you're getting abundance. That's spiritual abundance. Spiritual abundance. And your cup start running over. But what if you didn't, like I said, what if you don't get the abundance that the church normally talks about? The devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy, the yin. But I am come, the yang, to give you life and life more abundantly. Oxford's Dictionary of Abundance. The very first thing of abundance is of the heart. Your heart was broken. I come to put it back together because it was necessary for it to be broken, like muscles being broken down, for you to build up and make it strong, but don't harden it. Strong heart, strong mind, strong body, but don't harden your heart. Yes, you're going to get hurt here several times, but don't allow the enemy to have your heart turn into stone. Um, I don't want to get too serious. You see, though, just like at the beginning, you can, if you're still listening, you can encapsulate. If that's not a word, I just made it one. You can encapsulate how I have a message, I deliver it, different downloads come. So tell my people this. Maybe not one person watches it. I know at some point I'm gonna end up watching it again. That happens a lot. Maybe not with all of them, but a lot of my shows. But it's in the atmosphere. I'm not expecting no praise. And honestly, I am expecting for no one to watch it. But you know what? That's kingdom. Where you don't need the pats on the back and all that. That's good, well done, good and faithful servant. After you deliver it, it has nothing to do with you. That's when it's well done. You just choose to do the work that you were here to do. You choose to do the little things. What can you give the source that has everything? The little things. Your gift. Sharing. Choosing. The little things. Yeah. Building a multi, having a building that costs multi-millions to feed hungry kids, and and you fed just so many of them, and you all on the news, and just like Abraham and my man, Abraham, a lot of more power to you. So I'm definitely, like I said, nothing. No, you're doing a great work, but what if you don't? And not saying he's doing it for the fame either. I just don't want my words to get twisted. But I'm giving an example. You could be tapping into things that are so supernatural that no one's seeing. That's not good enough for you. You could be tapping into very integral, small things that mean a lot. Is that enough for you? Or do you have to be seen? Like I said, you have to buy those big buildings, and yeah, that's great. But for the person who has everything, somebody just saying, you know what? I think rather than going out, I'm gonna deliver this message. I'm gonna choose to hang with Daddy today. Do you know that is, if they did all that for people to see what you did to everybody else, they did a great thing and they praised and they worshiped. But if a tree falls and nobody hears it, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, but God has for you. Double-edged sword. Yes, that can definitely mean some some great monetary things. But what if it means eyes and ears don't hear? If eyes and ears don't hear this message, I know Source had it for me. Meaning, for me, I'm sharing my story. If this was something no one else needed to hear from me, it's in the atmosphere, and they encapsulate it from someone else. Like, you know how you tell somebody something, but because they know your history, like a prophet is never welcomed in his hometown, they can't hear it from you, literally. And see, I'm gonna do a message on that. It's very hard to, so don't judge that. But what God has for me is for me. I have nothing against preachers and pastors, and I've gotten some great things from them. Whatever they're doing, I told you, I'm not against anything. I'm not putting my focus on it. But what Source told me, those are not the chosen. Now, are there some that might be doing it and they're working in their improper persona? That's possible. But as far as that is not no. It's not about buildings. We're the temple. We come to the people in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Christ was the perfect example, had 12 disciples that he built relationships with. He spoke to them. He taught them. He cried with them. They cleaned each other's feet to show them, I'm not above you. Breaking bread with them. You can't do that with multitudes of people. And you're not helping them discover we all have a gift and a purpose here. But we're taught that it's so programmed that if it doesn't bring multitudes or whatever, that means that it's really not real. What if it's just for you? What if it's just for you? Look at what Christ had to endure, and look at David and Solomon. What if you don't become a king? What if you don't rule armies? What if you just prosecuted and accused of things that you didn't even do? What if you looked over? What if you're not accepted? What if your story on a physical level looked like it sucks? And nobody relates to you or understand what you're talking about. Would you still do it? It's not many people out here like me. So, like I say, these messages are timeless. 100 years from now, somebody might look and be like, you know what? You're right. I did a show about what if Christ chose to be a carpenter. That made more sense, didn't it? Didn't that make more logical sense? His father was a carpenter. Just saying, it doesn't have to always be the bells and whistles, the little things. That's what shows Source. That's what shows God that you matter to Him. You already matter to Source, no matter what you do. And you can never lose your gift. Even Lucifer didn't lose his gift. But when you give it back, see, Lucifer just uses it for whatever it is. Said the creative one, to be creative. So you can use it for whatever you want to use it for. You can use it for monetary reasons. Like I said, you could. I notice sometimes when I give messages, I can talk much clearer. I'm able to. Um, I'm able to. I'm just able to tap in and say things a lot clearer. I'm gonna get a lot more. I can get a lot more sophisticated. I can get better flow. It's just saying when you're more in the spirit, and you could use that to get monetary things. You could. That's completely up to you. But and not saying, hey, look, if somebody want to offer something, we need to learn to receive. But I'm not asking you for nothing. The Lord is my shepherd; I shall not want. But why do we? Source said, I'm going to give you everything that you need because we really don't know what we want. Heck, I acknowledge that, especially women. Hey, I'm for. Hey, you say whatever you want to say. You know it's the truth. That's why when men say women don't know what they want, hey, listen, don't get mad about that. Become a wife. Become a good thing. Worth more than anything on this planet when you do that. Worth more than anything a man could do. All we can do is find you. Women, do you understand the power of that? You looking at Beyonce and all these, and it's not against Beyonce. I don't know her, but I'm just giving an example. And oh my God, you don't know how you don't know what people really going through. It just look they get sometimes it's an illusion when you going through something. Do you show it out on your sleeve? You just the upkeeper of all this, never having the time to be still and know and hear from your God. So looking at Beyonce and all that, when you can become a wife and become more valuable than a billion Beyoncés, you just became a good thing. The only thing compared to that is what? God. God is good all the time. You're probably not going to be good all the time now. Like I am, but you're not going to be the great I am. But I'm just saying, you become a good thing, a helpmeet. You got the power. Guys, don't get that twisted. They have the power. However, just like I said, if you choose to use that gift sexually, hey, that's sexual energy is very powerful. You get a lot of money from it. I'm not judging you. Heck, if I was in your shoes, I might do the same thing. This is a real show. But I have to give what source is telling me. So if someone says, you know what, I'm trying to do better because I choose to. I'm not making your choices for you because I'm not condemning you. So I do too much. That's how you really don't get judged back. Give and take. I'm giving y'all some nuggets here. So you use it for whatever you want to use it for. You might have the power of seduction. Whatever it is. You might learn a lot of lessons from that and then come right back. I'm just saying, you don't know. I don't judge too because you don't know how this is going to work. So, women, when you choose, not when you feel condemned to, not when you like, oh, I don't feel like I'm ready, but I know I probably should. No. When you're ready and you choose, you make a decision. Repentance is a changing of your mind, not just saying, oh, I should do this, I should do that. How many times do we do what we should do? Not often, but until we make a decision, y'all. Now, Tony Robbins said that I can't take credit for that one. Got to give him his nugget. But that's facts. That's 100. When you choose to become a good thing, you just choose to do the little things. First, you chose to. You got the power. You got power. You're a backbone. If people knew it, what they say, getting in the back. Do you know the power of the back? And I'm gonna have to do like an esoteric show about the back. And if more people knew that, they would know their power. See, people perish. Let's say people perish for lack of knowledge, because what the world says or portrays, and they don't know what it really is. That the only reason that you're submitting is to show your power, not his. And you showing it to God. More women do that. You're submitting to, it's like a man who know he could beat a little guy picking, coming trying to fight. He like, you know what, you got it, bro. You got it. He might look like a punk to everybody out there. He know he could have beat the mess out of this dude. But he chose not to. Everybody else, oh, that's a punk. Yeah, he just got punked and da. He just saw source's power. Now, I'm not saying let somebody punk you or, hey, don't come this way. I told you that. Hey, I'm not religious. But I'm just giving an example, women. That's giving your gift back to God. It's not explained that way. I told you the Bible and things from the chosen, and it could be you. You listening. More than likely, it's going to be you. You understand that you see things in a different. We are the sons of man, just like Christ. We were doing. Christ said, "You shall do the things I do," and I dare say even more. Follow me. Not worship. Only worship the Father, but follow me. Women, you're giving. That's a gift of yours. You can become a good thing. We can't. You can become a good thing. All we can do is find you. And you show give your gift, you show your power by saying, I got all the power, but I'm going to submit. Just like the masculine and feminine. 80% is feminine, but the 20% masculine, it's the order, focus, and discipline. But on a higher level, in the 80% feminine is all the energy and power. 80%. Much more powerful, but it's everywhere. It's everywhere. So what? It needs what? The little things. I'm down to do the little things. Because the little things, just like a car, the engine and all that, yeah, it's very important. But without all the bolts and the screws and all that, it won't function properly. When you're married, if you don't do the little things, women, think about, I'm telling you, everything that's in the Bible, then translated through me, I notice it already is happening, and I can always give life examples. So many women, he stopped doing the little things because they notice money after a while, it doesn't really matter. Great to have because it is like a form of freedom where you don't have to, it's something you don't have to worry about paying. It's more freedom for you to do what you need to do if it doesn't take all your time away. But I'm just saying, in a relationship, it's not, it's saying money is the answer to all things. So that right there tells you the world. Everything in the world could be answered with some money, except for what? Things you can't see. Illness can't. AIDS can't. Well, I don't know. Magic. Hey, I might have to, I don't know. But you get what I'm saying. You can't give somebody $1 million and say, hey, love me. You can't give, I'm just saying. Somebody can say, I'm your friend. Come on now. The money isn't what, makes someone like, okay, I like them. Now, you like being around their money. So when it says it's the answer to all things, that's the world. Just like of all things get understanding. And I understand, yeah, money was rooted. You always go back to the source, the root of the families when they say it was rooted. The root of all money is evil because the root of who did it, the root of that bloodline is of evil. Translation. I to translate. I have one. You're watching this. If you don't have it or developing it, you probably will. That I be single and you be full of light. You shine that light on others, even if they can't see it. People don't see what Source doing in the background, but Source does it anyway. The sun comes up. Our breath. I remember somebody was saying, they was like, man, but you got to thank God for the little things too, our breath and the sun. I said, the little things? Breathing? That's little? We don't breathe, we die. But it's so natural. It's given so freely that we take it for granted until we see it. I know because I do this, and we're built that way. Source knows this. But sometimes take the time to go back, meaning just think about it. When you think about it, and it's you like logically like, man, sun don't get no credit. It's gonna come up anyway. The things that are fixed. Solomon said was the wisest man to ever walk the earth, but God said a blade of grass was worth more. King Solomon, who the Masons, they built their wisdom from him. That's how powerful he is. That wisdom actually still runs what's going on now. But a blade of grass was worth more than the source. Now, can you encapsulate that? That's my word I made up. I hope it might exist. Darn it. But can you really see that? See, that's why you can't just read something and not take the meat and the juice and squeeze it and get the revelation from it to live it. That's the main part. Why make a smoothie and get all the juice and not drink it? So, yep, and I lost where I was. With that being said, it'll come back to me. But yeah, what I do remember, I was just talking, yeah, the root of all evil. Oh, in the simple things. So when you like just let's say meditate, you just like, wow, all the ANS system, that mean automatic nerve system, that you is embedded. You don't notice it, you just do it. What if you can do your gift like that? But what if nobody saw it? What if you had signs and wonders? You could imagine some of the things I've seen. And with certain people, I even talk about it, but source told me, they're like, even if they experienced it, you don't have the mind to really encapsulate, to grasp what you're saying. I don't care what it is that happened to you, unless they see it happening to you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Show me the money. The doubting Thomas. Not saying they're doubting you, but they're not going to get really anything from it. So you might as well just keep it to yourself because I built it that way. Because some people, like me, I needed signs and wonders. I needed to know. But during this journey, I remember even some of the wisest people I ever heard, they're like, I'm a knower in God. You know, some people say, I have faith in God. And they say the next level, I'm a knower in God. No, that is not the next level. For some reason, I always said, not faith. Faith, I wanted to say faith. But then as I start studying more, see, that's why I say you can't look to wisdom, the world's wisdom. I said a knower in God. Now, why is faith worth more than knowing? Faith is spiritual money. I did a message about something I heard from, it was, I can't think of the pastor name, Marvin something. And I guess he's like a financial advisor now too, also. But he said, you can know something and not understand it. And that right there, it caught me like a left hook. I said, do you know how many people know me? Meaning they know of me, but they don't understand me at all. At all. Of all things, get understanding. That's how I emotionalize with people so much. That's why I try to get so much knowledge too, so I can go all the way up and all the way down like an elevator if I need to. But the biggest thing I caught from that was, what did God say in the Word? You can think whatever you want to think about that Bible. It gives nuggets. A lot of people that talk about it, they still use it to back stuff up, though. Amazes me. But anyway, so what did God say? God said, they knew me, but they did not honor me. So I no longer say, I know, yeah, I'm a knower in God. No, I have faith in God. I have faith in Source. I may not be able to see it. And yes, I know it exists, but I'm giving honor when I have faith. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how Source is going to move. That's the power. Catch that. You have, you, that's surrendering. I surrender. Like this war, all this battle that we think we have to fight. I'm with you. And But even though I know, all I got to do is surrender. You know it. Think if you're trying to lose weight, think about it. You know what to do, but why don't you do it? Because although we know what we all know what we should be doing, until you honor it, that's focus on it and carrying it out. You honor your craft. When you honor your craft, that's when things happen. You could know about it. Some people know a lot of things, but they don't understand it. So Source is saying, you will never understand me. I'm something that you just have to surrender to and have faith in a plan that I have for you. Surrender your will for my will to be done in your life. That was just gay. Oh, I should have wrote that down. I'm serious though. That was a nugget. But faith is powerful. I knew it was powerful, but I didn't know it was that powerful. Much more powerful than knowing. Because you have to depend on the only thing you're supposed to depend on. When you leave that job, when that mate leaves you, when you're going through hell and high water, and everybody turn their back on you. Are you going to depend? Now, let me give you the reverse of that. When things are going great, this is actually the hardest part. I'm talking to myself. When things are going great, when you got friends, great business-wise, great physically, mentally, everything is great. Are you still going to tap in? Are you still going to take time? Are you still going to tithe? You can have money and say, okay, I'm giving my 10% and go on with my business. And I'm not for or against whatever, what you want to do. But I said it once, I said it twice, and I'm going to continue to say it. That my God, if y'all can encapsulate this, the 10% tithe of time that you give Source is the greatest thing you could ever do in your life because it's going to be your everything. Do you understand? Source is everything and nothing. It can be when you have an eye to see it, it's everything. Like, this is my everything. I may not always honor it, but I have knowledge of it. And I have the faith that I'm going to carry it out and honor it. But if you don't know of it, how can you know what you don't know? That's where people come in. Source works with people. How can you know what you don't know? So to you, it's nothing. That's a truth. Your truth right there. That's why I said all truths are but a truth. But is it true to others like me and others that Source doesn't exist? Do you understand how this works? This is deep, y'all. My truth is not your truth. Everything and nothing at the same time. Alpha and Omega. When I told you at creation, the plan of Christ was already made on the seventh day of creation at rest. You can understand things like that, but you got to tap in. I cannot believe this went 1 hour and 28 minutes, but like I said, elevators, when you're elevating, I told you, you can catch this. This makes more sense when you're in the spirit. When you're elevating, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going up. When you're elevating, it means you're going where you need to go. Source gives you what you need. So if you want the money, the fame, like I said, the pat on the head, you may get it, you may not. But Source would say, I don't know you. You don't have my energy signature. That's not me. You say you healed this person in my name. You say you healed that person in my name. Source said, no. That's not of Source. Source tells you, you got the power to heal yourself. When Christ healed people, Christ said, your faith was healed, healed you. Christ was giving them a nugget. Like, you don't even have to come to me. All you got to do is follow me, watch me. You don't have to depend on miracles, signs, and wonders. Divine intervention, which is great. Thank God. I didn't have me some divine intervention in my life. Thank God for it. But I'm just saying, just depend on source, on yourself. It's there. It's going to have faith. It's going to happen, whatever it is. See, source reveals to me how to love yourself and love your neighbor and love your source that lives within you. Kingdom in without the king, your neighbor. The kingdom is inside of you. The kingdom is outside of you. But man see it not. Bible says, God told him in Proverbs, I believe, did I not tell you you were gods, but you die like what? Man. Because you can't see. Why? People perish because of lack of knowledge. Bible is like mathematical equations. You when you learn, you know how you have to know the solution and you have to show your work and all that. That's sometimes how the kingdom is. That's how the word of God is. It's there, but you to be translated, you have to start certain verses. They fit together like a transformer, and in what it helps make sense when it can be translated the right way. Even though those, if it's translated another way, that doesn't mean it's wrong. But at the highest level, higher levels, when source says, I'm talking to you. So when it says you heal this person in my name, you heal that person in my name, that's to the church. It didn't say you killed this person, you sold drugs, you don't know me. It's saying the church. You're not healers. We're not superheroes. We're not anyone's savior. We're here to do what? The will of what? Our Father, our mother. There's no sex there. That's what we're here to do. We just don't, we carry it out in faith. We don't know how big or small it might look here. But when you get higher, you can just feel at higher levels, there are treasures in heaven. Just think them. And I'm going to tell y'all this. I have faith in this. I feel it. The more you're looked over here and you still do your job, just like the son and the other angels, you get so many treasures in heaven. You get things you can't see. Faith is spiritual currency. Your gift is making more and more room for you. Your mansions. You're getting real estate in heaven. But you can't see it. You can only have faith in it, only surrender to the perfect plan. Perfect plan. You got a plan, I got a plan, and it's a perfect plan. Come on, let's be real. Sometimes we're going to choose our plans, and they always seem to get screwed up, but we keep going back to it. We programmed to do that. We children, man. I don't care how sophisticated or how wise, the wise, I don't care how wise you think you are. We see 1% of the light spectrum. Maybe sometimes more. I'm saying, I ain't going to lie. Sometimes I think I see more at some points. But but the message is, compared to other things or entities, whether you think that exists or not, even people, no matter how, it's always somebody much smarter, much taller, much stronger. We really children. Compared to source, we're children. That's why the Bible says, come to me like a child. You eager. A child will ask for anything because they haven't been programmed to say, this isn't realistic what you asking for. They just want it. They're excited about it. They think their parent at that age can give them anything they want because they know that's who to come to. Because that's who takes care of that child. And that's how you come to source. Excited. I know I'm going to get me a message. I don't know how it's going to get delivered, but I'm excited. But come on, but it doesn't always work that way. It doesn't always work that way. But that's the plan. Like a child, like I say, enjoy. You happy, you excited about this. If nobody sees it, and the phrase, hey, whether it's 1 or 1 million, you could say it, but most didn't probably mean it. It's a cliche, but you feel it. Man, that's really true. Because you're not doing it for that. You're doing it for yourself. You loving yourself. You sharing it for your neighbor, loving your neighbor, and automatically that shows love to source. Mathematical equations. The golden rule. We from the golden age of stillness. Be still and know that I'm God. That's what makes you whole, y'all. Whole is holy. Like I said earlier, balance. Yin yang, balance. We're not trying to be perfect. We're trying to find balance between the things and the things we know we're going to probably do anyway and our purpose. And like I said, you can do 90% of what you want. Source said, just give me that other 10. And that's more than enough for you to pass this test of life. You just got to have the faith it's going to do it. 1 hour and 35 minutes. My God. Hey, shalom and love, y'all.